Hey guys, Trev from the Struggling Artist Podcast, and I want to talk to you real quick about Struggling Artist Record Club. The Struggling Artist Record Club is a vinyl record subscription service where I hunt and curate the best punk and punk-adjacent music out there and mail their record to your door each and every month. Imagine finding your new favorite band from across the country without ever having to leave the house. It doesn't get much better than that. The excitement of discovering new music just got that much easier. As a member of the Struggling Artist Record Club, you are going to receive some of the best music you've ever heard from bands you may never even heard of. Whether you've been collecting records for years or just starting out, the Struggling Artist Record Club is designed specifically for you. And right now, all new members get a Struggling Artist Record Club exclusive along with the monthly selection. So head to StrugglingArtistRecordClub.com, pick a membership, and start building that collection today.
Hey, this is Rev from the Drowns, and if you still believe in rock and roll, then keep the dial set here at the Struggling Artist Podcast.
You're listening to the Struggling Artist Podcast.
People need to be entertained. They need the distraction.
With your host, Trev Allen.
I wish to God that somebody would do something to block out the voices in my head for 5 minutes.
Welcome to the Struggling Artist Turntable. This one is for April of 2025. With me, as always, Jeff Bousquet, and the return of Chris Chavez.
I'm back.
What's up, guys?
Return. Back again.
I feel like I just saw you last weekend. Oh, wait. I did. What That's a good time. What a good time. Struggle Dome, Volume 3 happened. And it was an outstanding time. And Jeff, I can't thank you enough for opening up the show for us.
Dude, thank you.
It was awesome.
A pleasure to be there. We had so much fun.
I could tell you from being on the other side of it and watching it, I was telling Trev, probably one of the best shows I've been to in a while. It was so much fun. The music was awesome. You guys were awesome. Jeff, you were great. I don't know, did you get a chance to listen to the audio I dropped in the drive?
No, not yet.
Dude,
It's
let me
good.
tell
I
you
like
something, dude. There's like 2 different songs you do where everyone sings along, and they just the ultimate gang vocals. It just sounds so good. It's just, I literally had goosebumps listening to it again the other day when I just listened to the audio. I was like, oh, this is awesome.
I think one was a cover.
But it was awesome, dude.
That's so cool, though. Yeah, we had a blast. I was just bummed that it felt like it ended quickly after Coffin Salesman finished. Everybody kind of rolled out. But Trev, you looked like you were
I was bummed.
definitely beat. You looked like you were like
I
ready.
was bummed, dude. I sat down. I'm like, I have no friends.
No, you looked you looked like you were ready for everybody to get the heck out of your house. I feel like you were like
I was
like, oh, Trev's probably like so beat right now.
Tula was probably ready for everybody to get out of the house.
True.
Tula loves people. The music scared her, but
Yeah.
You know, but she was a fucking trooper. She got the biggest bone ever the next day for being such a good girl.
Yeah, she was awesome.
Yeah.
It
was cool, man.
The bummer for me, dude, was so much went wrong with all the stuff I filmed and recorded. The only good audio I got was off the Rode mic that was attached to the Canon. The Tascam, I forgot to check the mic levels when you guys were actually playing live and not just for the room. So like yours wasn't so bad, but there was a lot of spots that clipped real bad. But as soon as your friends in hell came in and it got a little louder and bigger, it started clipping bad. But forget it. When Aria played, It sounds like an alien giving birth. It's the most insane sound that I've ever heard. I know, dude. I was just like, no. And then on top of it, the one camera, my static cam, died 10 minutes into Arya's set. And I was just like, no. And the other thing I didn't do, dude, was the video on the static cam. I forgot to set it to manual focus and leave it in focus for the stage. So every time people stepped in front of it, it auto-focused on the back of their head, dude. So I'm going to see what I can do, because I had my other cam that I was doing handheld. So what I'm going to do is see, can I work it so that it clips over my handheld in the scenes where it goes blurry on the static. We'll see if that works out.
Where did the audio come from for Jeff's? Was that on?
That's all off the Rode mic that was on the camera. The Canon.
Yeah, that was good, though. That was good.
Yeah, it's not bad. It sounds like a legit house show recording.
Yeah, it sounded good.
I just bought an extra battery today for my camera for a long shoot tomorrow. It's like it's always something.
So did Jim leave the cover over the lens when he was taking pictures?
No, he hasn't even looked at the shots yet. He's got these other ones he's working on that he's getting paid to do, so he's got to finish those editing those before he even looks at it. But yeah, dude, it was just I got frazzled up too, because like when we went and did the Michael Caine show, I don't know if we told you this, Jeff, but like when we got there and we were ready to go, it was like 20 minutes to go in live. And I realized that one of my SD cards wasn't working for my Tascam. So we didn't have the right SD card. So we had to run to Walmart and get it. So it was like all this like frantic running around.
Yeah.
As soon as we
Sounds
get to
right, man.
As soon as we get to Trev's, dude, right? I get there, I have the cameras, I'm starting to set up, and I was like, fuck, I left the SD cards in the hotel room. We literally had to go to Walmart and buy more SD cards. So that's how the night kicked off, and I should have known that was like it was an omen of things to come. But
was a Walmart closer than the hotel?
Yeah, actually there was.
Yeah, hey,
the hotel's 30 minutes away. That's the bad thing, right? There's a Walmart closer than the hotel.
The Walmart's 10 minutes away. We got one of those.
Yeah, I think they're on every block corner anymore.
It was an awesome time. I had a good time. I had a good time. I was tired when it started. Only because like I did so much. I overkilled on the cleaning. Ask Chris. They came in on Friday and they're like, "What else do you have to do?" Like I was like, "I have so much to do."
I'm like, really?
Yeah,
I
hosting
vacuumed my floor like
stressful.
10 times. Like it was stupid. But like I had a blast. It was cool to see people there. There was people I didn't know that was there, which was awesome. Like they came out to see you guys. One of the Mike Shue and Josh Dolan from 100 FM The Pike came out, and Jeff, you were saying some very kind words about me, and you had said that I was the best on-air host around, and I happened to be right next to Shue, and he's an on-air like radio host, and I leaned in, I said, "Did you hear that, Shue?"
Yeah, because then you can hear you laughing because of Shue's reaction, I'm sure, dude. But
yeah,
you can hear yourself. You got to listen to the recording, Jeff. Let me know what you think.
Yeah, that's awesome.
It was fun, dude. It's like literally being there again and hearing.
Jeff,
everybody.
you played one of my favorite songs from your catalog, "Sync." I love that song.
Sinking,
Sinking, yeah. And then you were talking about the shit doesn't have to have hope; it can just suck.
Yeah.
That was from your episode with Arya.
Yeah.
I was listening to that. I was listening to that on the way back from Cleveland, I think, and on a plane, and yeah, it was just like a very good. It was like, that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't want you to be.
You don't need to tell me.
I don't want solutions. I just want you to be angry with me.
Right.
So people are like, okay, do you want me to, like, are you coming to me because you want help fixing this situation? Or are you coming to me because you want me to be angry with you right now?
Yeah.
And it's like 90% of the time, I just want people to be angry with me. It just feels a lot more satisfying.
Jeff, I told you, you just have to let me know when. We can go out and miserable drink all night long. I will. I don't drink that often, but I will go and do that with you because I miss doing my miserable drink. Like,
It's probably a good thing that you don't do it. I feel like it's not a healthy thing to do.
no,
often.
it is. Sometimes you just got to get it out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you just got to drink and talk with. You just talk with somebody and you guys just fucking vent. You know?
Yeah,
Like, that's
yeah. I think our friend group is good with that. A friend of mine was there who doesn't usually get to come to shows, and she was like, she said something like, you have a very like welcoming group of people.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're great.
Yeah. The other thing, so anyway, when you were saying that, I was in the other room.
Supportive group of people.
When you stopped and it was kind of quiet, I was like, yeah! And then everyone started laughing because it's true, man. Sometimes the one thing, I have way too much beer at my house now. Like,
Yeah.
I drank
A whole pack of all days was probably overkill.
yeah, because you drank like 3 of them, Jeff.
Yeah. Well, I brought them for other people to drink too. But.
No, some people drank them. I got to count them. They're still in the box. So once I finish up these right here, hold on. Well, yeah, my High Lifes. Hold on.
Oh, are we sponsored? Are we sponsored?
Yeah.
Do we have to blur that? What's going to happen?
All days don't come in. It's hard to find them in less than a 15 pack or whatever.
I think it's
it
an 18 pack,
Yeah.
isn't it? Yeah. Yeah. So anyway, once I finish off the rest of the High Life, I will take the what are they called?
The all days.
All days,
Yeah.
and I'll take them out of the box. But I'm pretty sure there's like 12 to 13 left.
Probably.
Yeah. And then I went outside, and your brother left his sparkling water out there.
Little shit had fucking Topo Chico, and he didn't tell me.
He put
knows
it-
I
yeah.
love that stuff.
He had a 12 pack outside. I got about 6 of those. I don't know what I'm gonna do with them, but maybe I'll make like.
Where did you get that? And he
I'll
was
make
like, "Don't worry
vodka-
about it." I was like,
Vodka and
"God
soda
damn it."
water. So,
Topos are like gold. Topos are the best.
and then he booked a
Especially if you
show.
can find the lime
He
one.
booked a show at my house for this summer.
Great. be awesome to do one outside.
Guess I'm driving out again.
Yeah,
Hell yeah.
for sure, man.
Take 2. Take all the things I learned and don't make those mistakes again.
We'll see. We'll see. Can't teach an old dog new tricks.
Yeah,
Scott.
but this time, if you come out this summer, we all got to coordinate a hang like the night before.
Oh hell yeah! I'll add it some extra days
The
to my
night
stay.
after or something.
yeah, we'll
yeah.
figure that out. We'll figure it out.
Yeah, for sure.
I'll have to start planning that soon anyway if it's going to be outside. So
Like to go check out some other live music if possible, because you guys have some great stuff out there, as is evident in some of the stuff picked for this round table.
yeah, let's get into that.
Segue.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
So we didn't do a poll the past month. One, because Chris missed the recording,
one,
so
yeah.
we never thought of it. But then I was like, what do you guys want to do for a poll? And Jeff's criteria was so good. I'm like, can we just do that? Like, we're just gonna do, and I think we all did a good job with the vibe.
I feel like it was fitting. The X Factor was fitting, so it'll be interesting to get into them.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, before we do that, we're going to hit up our locals. I know this was a long intro, but we are doing the Struggling Artist Round or Turntable for April of 2025. Basically, we all bring local picks to the table for the first round, and then the second round, there is a criteria for the X Factor. And this month, we're doing War, and we'll get into those towards the end of the segment. So, let's take a quick break before we hit up our locals. And I hope we have a PSA from our dear friend Squally Green Thumb in this break. If not, don't hold it against me or him. We just we needed to coordinate that a little bit better. But he was here. He was in Central Mass.
He was
Holy
here
shit,
too, dude.
yeah.
They made the trek.
All right, we will be right back.
What the fuck is up? It's your boy, Squally Green Thumb, and I'm here to give you an update on my monthly charity EPs. That's right, you heard me right. Every month in the year of our Lord 2025, I'm dropping a new EP in a different genre of music, and I'm going to give all the money that I make through my Bandcamp to a different charity every month, all year. I am out of my fucking mind. We are now in April, which is the 4th month, and I'm dropping my 4th EP today. But I want to take this time to talk about last month's EP a whole lot more than I'm going to talk about this month's EP, and you'll see why in a moment. Last month, I put out a record called 2001. It's a punk record. It came about for 2 reasons. One, I took a picture of my dog barking at me, and I thought it looked like Distillers 2000. And I told myself that if I ever put out another punk record, I would entitle it 2001 and use that as the cover. So I did. This record was for the benefit of Trans Resistance Mass, and it is both a prequel and a sequel to a song off of my 2009 EP Icarus of Cambridge. The song in question is entitled Oh Well, and it is one of the few songs from back then that I still play live. And in February, as I was trying to figure out what the fuck I was going to do for my March EP, Aria, aka Coffin Salesman, covered Oh Well on his Patreon, which you should all check out. And in the post where he covered it, he talks about how I don't play the third verse anymore, and there's a few reasons for that, but this verse is about a junkie couple that's kind of sick of each other's shit, and I have been in enough drug-fueled romances to kind of be an authority on that subject, so I figured it was about time that I expanded upon that story. So 2001 is about the couple meeting and then their fallout after the events of Oh Well. Now, on the complete opposite side of the coin, April's record is called the EP. And the EP is a doom metal record, because April is stoner season, and one of my favorite things to do in spring is get really high and go on a long walk, and the best music to listen to when you're going on a long walk is doom metal. Doom metal is also the catalyst for my original monthly EP for charity challenge that I did back in 2020, and it is definitely one of my favorite genres to dabble in, and if I ever start another band, it will be a doom metal band. But in all my time making doom metal, all of my songs still stuck within like the 5 to 8 minute range. I have a little bit too much punk rock in me to like have the patience to craft and build out a very long song. So I did that. Now I fixed it. The EP, one 27-minute song. And it is the first part of a trilogy that I will get into a little bit more next month when it's a little more fleshed out. But in my head, I kind of know where it's going. And maybe you can figure out where it's going from this song. All sales in April are going to benefit Food Not Bombs, an organization that fucking feeds homeless people in and around Boston, and that is straight up what they do, and it's very necessary. They also dabble in a few of the other causes that we care about so much. So check out my music, buy it, and help some people. Thank you.
You can find all of Squally Green Thumb's music at weedaboo.bandcamp.com. That's right, weedaboo.bandcamp.com.
All right, we're back with our local picks. Jeff, technically you won since you thought of this idea for the X Factor. So let's get into your local pick.
Yeah, local this month for me is the relatively new band Knelt. It's another glorious heavy band from Boston. Seems to be like a little bit of a super group of sorts of members from some other fairly well known heavy bands in the area. Mourn, Final Gasp, Severed Boy, and so this is like a new metalcore, metal hardcore
supergroup,
hardcore metal supergroup that they've put together, I guess. Yeah. But it's sick. So this is just their first round of demos, and I just figured I'd bring that to the table this month. But they, I mean, for demos, they sound good. First off, they got a nice kind of even flow of sludgy meets manic on this. I think I'm going to mention it several times in this episode with our picks this month, but it's just dense anger that is appropriate and cathartic and in place right now. They've been playing some shows. They just started playing a few shows. Haven't gotten to see them yet, but I definitely plan to pretty soon, hopefully. And I'm excited. If this is what the demos sound like, I'm definitely stoked to hear like what's coming from these guys. So
yeah, this sounded so good, dude. Like this is the perfect blend of metal and like hardcore. Like, you have sick metal guitar licks, and then you have like this hardcore speed drumming that has like what was the song? I mean, first off, hold on. Final Gasp and Mourn. I feel like you brought both of those bands.
I have, yes.
Okay.
I've had both of these bands on. Yeah.
And like they're like, come on. Like that right there, I was already sold from the get-go. You sent me this before, like way before, right? You sent me this when you first heard it, and I bought it right away because you said those two band names. I'm like, I'm buying this, and it's definitely worth a spin, man. It's good, and it's like if you want to be angry, this is good angry music. Like it's just like I feel like a lot of things we have. If you want to be angry, it's good.
I don't want to be angry. I just am angry at all times right now.
But if you need something to listen to, just to kind of keep that vibe going, like this is definitely something for you. What's this song? Faith Alone has like this sick breakdown that like turns into a change up, and it just like it was awesome. It was awesome.
Yeah.
No, I agree with what both you guys are saying. I don't know what it is, but whenever I record with Trev, Jeff, I change my name on this thing to match whatever I'm feeling, doing whatever, but I think it's just the atmosphere we're in right now, the world we live in. I just want angry music. I want heavy music. I want hard music. I've been listening so much more hardcore and more like metalcore, and this is so when I listened to this, I was just like, yeah, give it to me, give it all to me. I'll listen to it. And for 3 songs, like you said, if this is the demo, I'm already following them on Bandcamp, picking this up. I actually like their T-shirt too, dude. That is a dope T-shirt. That whole mountain of skulls.
Yeah.
Yes. Like I think I might be buying this T-shirt as well. But dude, I'm telling you, like.
Also, I like that they went with a more of a medieval font than a medieval like Norse Celtic something font than a spider.
Oh no, the vines,
spiderweb vines that you can't tell what the band is called at all. It just looks
the crisscrossing twigs.
It looks like static.
Dude, I can't. I hate. I don't listen to bands that use it because I can't tell what their name is because I'm old and I can't see.
Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, no, Nelt, man, this is it. This is a dope band, and yeah, I was all in, man. This is something I wanted to play and turn straight up because it just felt so good to feel that aggression.
Right on, on. Chris, let's do your local because I got some shit to say.
Oh, Lordy, you got some shit to say. My local is they're self-described on Bandcamp as apocalyptic folk blackgrass. Not bluegrass, blackgrass. This is a band called Smitten for Trash, and the album's called Lose Lose. It's exactly what that description sounds like. It's a guitar and a banjo, and there's political lyrics in this, so they're a very political band as well. But they also do this thing that kind of reminds me of Thou Merciless Graves, where they do that growling, hissing kind of vocals thing. You know what I mean? That whatever, dude. And that's just something I love. I love that there's almost like this theatrics to it vocally, right? Like it doesn't even have to be visually theatrical, but hearing that, it's like you're listening to a creature, this demonic force that's trying to come out of him as he's singing, dude. So yeah, I brought them to the table because number one, I'm a fan of the sound of the duo, but number two, it just felt again kind of like the mood I'm in now, like this kind of more dark, brooding, like I'm not really in the mood to listen to happy music right now. I'm just not. And so this was something I thought would be good for the round table. And I was worried I had brought it before, but Trev, you reminded me that I, again, like Jeff had sent you that local, I sent you this local at some point in the past.
Yeah. I'll tell you right now where you sent me that local. So you sampled this this album for one of your first 716 The Sounds when you were doing like what's going on around town or whatever.
Okay.
And I hit you up. I said, what was that folky thing that turned hard? Send that to me now. And you did. And I fell in love with this album. Like, I don't even think the whole album was out yet, actually. I think there was only like a couple singles. Yeah. So like, this is awesome. Like, I mean, I'm gonna like. Can I sample? My favorite song on here is "Lose Lose." Can I sample it? We're gonna sample it real quick. All right, like just this, and this is. I think this is what I heard on 716 The Sound, and I was like, I need to hear this. You know. So hold on, here we go. Oh, it didn't go where I wanted it to go.
Here they come again.
Oh, well.
Down that dirt road, destroyed, quite dependent on survival.
You're like, all right, this folky stuff.
What
It's pretty,
shall
you know.
take the
Where's this gonna take us? And then this happens right here.
1, 2, 3, 4. Down by disease or maybe a bullet wound. I will never see my family again. Bombs and bullets, well, if you survive.
All right, I gotta cut it off in 45
Yeah, and they're
minutes.
totally, like I said, they're totally political. So that's a thing too, man. Like they're using their platform to put out, you know, songs that go against oppression and violence and sexism and things like that. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah,
this is a band I haven't seen live yet, and that they're like literally high on my list to see them whenever I get a chance next.
This band reminds me really close to my X Factor pick in a way. You know, it's both were angry and frustration, but like this one's more frustrated than anger. But when the anger comes, it has like that death metal growl that we talk about. You know what I'm saying? I'm a big fan of this. I think the vibe, like this and my X Factor would have an awesome show together.
Yeah,
you know what I'm
I think
saying?
so.
Like,
yeah.
Agree.
I'm a big fan of this one, dude. Like I said, the moment you sent it to me that day after I heard it, that I heard the sample I just played, I was like, I need this. Like
Nice.
this has to, you know. So yeah, but good job on this one, dude. Like this band is, and I'm actually kind of shocked that you never sent it to the turntable. Probably
I know.
because you
I
sent
kept
it to
feeling
me.
like I had already.
Yeah.
So this time I was like, let me just check in with them. And then you sent me the list of the ones we have done
Now this
already.
is two people,
yeah,
two
two folks. Yep.
Yeah, right out of Buffalo. Cool. This is awesome. Yeah,
Out of
good
the
stuff.
716. That's right.
I've said many times that you like never cease to be impressed with just like the musical talent that comes out of Buffalo. It's a seriously great music city. But yeah, I really liked this a lot. Number one, three things stuck out about this to me, like major things. One, I love the label Blackgrass. That's a great like subgenre name that I'm definitely gonna like try to hone in on more. I noticed he kind of there's a it's like crust punk and folk punk melodies but the vocals are at times almost kind of Bad Religion-esque to me, like the way that he's singing the melody lines. Also like a little Mischief Brew reminiscent as well. I hear a lot of Mischief Brew in his vocal tones and like his style. He sings a little bit like Eric Peterson did, and I love that. I love that intro. The intro builds and you think it's going to be a little different than it is. Like when I first played it, I was like, it's got that like sort of dark banjo laden, like, or maybe it's mandolin, but like, instrumental, intro track. And I guess I thought it was going to be a little more ethereal, like, dark, spacey, kind of weird folk. And then like the real, like, kind of like crust punk, folk punk stuff comes in and you're like, I love the name Spittin' for Trash. I just think it's fantastic. But yeah, no, I really liked this overall. It was fantastic.
Sweet.
Super fun.
Yeah, it was awesome. It was awesome. All right, I guess my local pick is a monster of an album.
Is this the most tracks on an album we've had to have on
the Turntable? It might be. This is a 33 track compilation of love ballads from movies. And Jeff, you're gonna have to kind of explain it a little bit more because I don't know the whole like backstory of all these volumes. You know what I mean?
Sure.
But so this is called Now That's What I Call Heartbreak, Volume 7, Songs from the Movies. This is loaded with some of the best bands I've ever heard from the Boston area, right? Like we have Astral Bitch on here. We have Little Low, Megan from Work, Jeff Bousquet.
Who?
Coffin Salesman. Roland High Life. Like it's just track after track, and they're all bangers, and they're all different, right? Like different takes on songs. I can't like I don't know, man. Like I did a struggling artist radio show recently, and I ended up making a whole block of just these songs because like I was like there was like 5 I wanted to use, and I'm like, well, that's a block. Let's just fucking put I kicked the show off with a block. I can't pick my favorite song. There is like I mean, Jeff, you cover Am I Wrong? And it's so good. Like, all right, don't make that face, goddammit.
Let me ask you this: so these are all like sad songs that are from movies?
Yeah.
What is Am I Wrong from? I'm not familiar with that song.
Angus.
Oh, nice. Now, did you pick it? Like, were you just like, hey, I want to do this, or did they give you a list of songs to pick from?
All right, so my pal Andrea Newenfeld from MK Naomi and Unseemlier, she, and formerly of Birdwatching, she puts this together every year. So basically it's a charity compilation. I don't know if I think she's donated the funds that it raises to different causes every year.
Yep.
And so it's Now That's What I Call Heartbreak. And she always releases it around Valentine's Day or whatever that weekend is, like usually on Valentine's Day. And so it's all like in general, it's kind of like love songs, but it could be really any songs, any sort of anything that fits into that really loose general category. And so every year she picks a different theme. So most of them were decades. They were like 80, the 80s, the 90s, the 2000s.
I saw a Britney Spears one.
Yeah, Britney, pop ones. There might have been like let's see, she did. The very first one was back in 2019. And this one was, I think it was just like a general compilation. It didn't have like a specific theme. It was all just like love songs or whatever. So so she's kind of changed it every year. And my brother and his various bands have contributed to it. Him and my sister-in-law did like a duet on one year. So I've always kind of, paid attention to it, and I really wanted to contribute to it this year. And so this year the funds went to Moonbase One, which is a new all ages indie venue in Salem, in the old Chagall Pack space in the Artist Market in downtown Salem. It's like a really cool little spot that they've been doing shows at. And they've also, the organization that started it is like running Moon Over Salem Festival once a year, and trying to really like bring local music to Salem and give local music a forum and a venue, or venues in Salem.
I'm forgetting who. Like, there's someone in a band that's like kind of
Allie.
leading the charge.
Yeah, it's Allie from Talk Chalk, I believe. Cape Crush. Sorry,
Cape Crush. Yes.
I get those two bands confused for some reason. I don't know why. No offense to anyone in those bands. I just get them confused sometimes. There's a handful of folks, like, as we know in our circles, that overlap from bands to bands and stuff like that. But yeah, Allie, I believe it's Allie and her partner James, who are kind of, and then some other business partners that are like running the Moonbase One operation. So yeah, it was super fun. I was woefully disappointed because I ran out of time. I didn't have time to cover the song the way that I wanted to in comparison to all of the other bands. But one of the things I love about these comps is realizing that I grew up in the same timeline as like many of my friends, and like Daphne Blue Underworld, which is Lauren from MK Naomi, she covered Eye to Eye, which was from a Goofy movie, and like and then Little Lo covered Long Way Down, which was on the Twister soundtrack, which is one of the first CDs I ever owned was the Twister soundtrack on CD. So I was super stoked at a whole bunch of the picks on this. I love Al's cover of Grease and Frankie Valli's Grease, and like, yeah, it's just
it's incredible. It's incredible. Yeah. I need to sample the Megan from Work song, just because like they nail Heaven is a Place on Earth.
Oh, it's good.
Here we go. So good. I gotta fade out, or they're gonna
I think I just did it again. I confused Little Lo and Unseemly. Unseemly are covered Long Way Down.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Little Lo. Let me go back to the album.
Too many people in the same bands. God damn it.
So like, Little Lo did good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Astral Bitch did Pretty in Pink. What an awesome cover that was. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
This thing was like,
dude, I love this. This is awesome. This was so much fun, and it's. I love these kinds of compilations where it's these kinds of things where they cover hits and songs that you know. This reminds me of those Punk Goes, whatever compilations from back in the day. Punk Goes, that's what this reminds me of, and I absolutely love it. It's freaking awesome, dude. And it was nice hearing some Buffalo Boys on there too. Long Way Down cover.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Goo Goo Dolls, dude.
Such a banger.
That's awesome. Yeah, that was really good.
But awesome. You guys are not even talking about the Rollin' High Life.
Oh yeah, well I think that's the best cover of Teenage Dirtbag I've ever heard. And I've heard a lot of people do it in different ways, and like karaoke. It's a karaoke popular one, and like you always hear people just kind of butcher it and like ruin it, but they like knocked it out of the park.
I love the Rollin' High Life so much. Like I've had Tom on the podcast, and like, I've seen them a few times now. I was a judge when they were at the Rock and Roll Rumble. Like I just like, these guys are good, and like they they're all like adults that have jobs and families, and so they do what they can, but they're still playing shows. Like, you know what I mean? Like they're still out there getting it, doing their thing. And yeah, this whole thing, I mean, I can't, this every track, 33 tracks of awesomeness. You know what I mean? It's just really good.
Yeah,
it's just
it
really
is
good. So yeah. Anyone else have anything to say?
It was an honor to be a part of.
Dude, you did a great job. I like that song.
I agree.
I didn't know that was in the movie Angus. I knew that song because Off With Their Heads covered it too. And
Brand New covered it too. That's probably the first time I heard it. But I was a fan of the movie. I saw the movie once or twice, but Love Spit Love's original version has like a whole marching band, because that's the opening scene of the movie is like at a football game. And it was just like, I wish it could have done it a little bit differently. Well, I'll just put it that way. But it was very fun to be a part of the comp this year. And I love Andrea very much. She's a sweetheart, and I'm very grateful to her for including me or letting me contribute.
Cool. Well, let's take a quick break, and we come back. We can get into these X Factor. We get into some war, not the band war, although they're good too. But we'll be right back. And we're back with our X Factors. This month it is war. Jeff, our angry brother, picked that one. That's usually something I would do, pick war. But here we are. Jeff, why'd you make this pick? Like we have to.
Like we have to explain. Like we have to elaborate. I don't know. It just seemed appropriate. I don't remember why I actually hit on the word war. I just thought, why don't we do that?
Let's just be honest. We're at war, dude.
I mean, we're at war in many ways already, and in whatever ways we're not, we're gonna be. So, here we are. My pick, my X Factor pick, seemed like it was a little bit of low hanging fruit. Possibly, we ran a little bit late this month with the show and everything, but I went with the homies in Make War, a paradoxical theory of change, which I believe came out in June of this past year, around June of 24. And I mean, listen, I don't have a whole ton to say here. Like I said, I feel like I've known these guys forever. They were out on a tour with OC45 years ago is probably when I first met them. And I always run into them at Fest and Pooza Fest and different times throughout the year. They're good pals with the guys in the Meantime, I think. And so, they've just always kind of been around, and they're just a great band, great group of guys. It's mostly Edwin and Jose that I have spent time with. It's like I'd call it guttural pop punk. It's like, it's just it's pop punk with a little gravel in it, with a little grit to it. It's like not quite street punk, but it's not quite pop punk in that sense. But they're super fun. They play the shit out of their shows. Like they play the shit out of fests. I think like last year at Pooza, they played like 3 sets or something. Maybe it was just 2, but they love what they do, and they kill it. And they're good guys. So
I remember you sent me this, and you're like, you need to get them on the podcast. And I think I got busy and forgot to reach out. I should still get them on the podcast because they're very, very good.
Yeah.
This is like a blend of like pop, melodic, and hardcore punk just mixed together, and you sprinkle in a very little bit of emo.
Yep.
And you make up the perfect recipe for a Fat Records band. And that's exactly what this is. With that said, these guys definitely stand above a lot of other bands that I've heard from that label it must be the chemistry. The way you're talking about how they play their sets, I'm assuming it's because their chemistry is so well, you know what I mean? So I'm assuming that's why. This stuff is great. I've been listening to it since you sent it to me, I think when it came out in June. Very good album. I can't say enough praise for it. It was awesome. I can see how like they fit that wheelhouse of what we know out here with the bands you had mentioned, like OC45 or
In the Meantime.
What'd you say?
In the Meantime.
Yeah, In the Meantime. Yeah. The Humanity even this has this this distinct thing, and where they're from New York, right?
Brooklyn, yeah.
Brooklyn, yeah.
They're originally from, I believe, South America, and kind of like came together in the Brooklyn area, I believe.
Okay, yeah.
I think that's the backstory there.
Yeah, they're really good, man. Like it's solid, and it's like, I was on. You know why? I think I went to buy the vinyl, and I can't buy it on their Bandcamp. I'll probably have to go to Fat Records to get it.
Yeah, I mean, because they are a Fat Wreck band, they have a lot direct on their website, I think.
Yeah. So I'm gonna get it though. I meant to then, and I think that's why I didn't do it. I'm like, how come I don't see a vinyl here? But then I remember they were a Fat Records band. So yeah, this was good. Good pick. The artwork is crazy. Like it reminds me of like a Beetlejuice thing.
Yeah, yeah, I see
you know?
that definitely.
Yeah. I like that a lot too. And this is all I've ever heard from them, so I need to go back and check out their older stuff, I think too.
Yeah, they have a good handful of releases.
Again, I agree with everything you guys are saying. I really enjoyed this. I love the instrumental on this album too. I loved, just how tight it sounded. There's this like, there's certain times when I listen to albums and there's a kind of like this thick bass that's not overwhelming, but it just feels like it. I don't know. It's tight and it keeps everything together in the sound sonically, if that makes sense. And that's how this sounds to me. I absolutely loved it. I had to go and look. I was like, where are these guys from? Because I really thought they were from Boston. Because everything you guys say, it has those sounds, but there's like that little kind of undertone of Boston street punk that's in there that made me go, oh, another Boston band, right? And then when I saw it was Brooklyn, I was like, oh, that's interesting, right? Because you don't typically, hear that much of an influence in that region's music. But dude, yeah, I enjoyed it, dude. I really like this a lot. Make Wars for sure. They're them.
What?
They're them.
Okay. Oh. Chris, it's your turn.
My turn. My turn. So I just did the thing where I put War into Bandcamp and started scrolling and listening to stuff. And as soon as something hit me, I was like, all right, well, let me listen to the second song. Let me listen to the third song. And then by the third song, I was like, okay, I think this is what it's going to be. I didn't even listen to the rest of it. And then I did. And then I agreed with myself that it was a good pick for me. The band I picked is a band called Modern Life is War. They're from Marshalltown, Iowa. And the song is called the album's called Tribulation Work Songs. And the deal with this is these are 3 different EPs that were released between 2018 and 2021. But the crazy thing is like the lyrics feel so relevant today on some of these songs. But this is just straight up hardcore. And that's what I was saying. Like, this is just what I'm in the mood for now. Every time I hear something that grabs my attention, it's typically heavy and angry and frustrated and aggressive and loud. And that's what this is. And it's tight. It's just in your face hardcore. I absolutely I bought it as soon as I was like, all right, now I'm a fan of this band. That's what I love about this show. I love when we have these X factors because I have to go outside of my local and then I'm just searching and then you never know what you find. Right. And this is definitely one that, this is going to be a band that I'm going to continue to follow for a while because I'm a big fan of their sound.
Right on. Yeah, man, this is solid hardcore. They play super tight and like the perfect vocal pitch for this type of hardcore music. I bought it right away. I bought the record. I think I didn't even get to like the 4th song when I was like, I'm buying this right now and I'll just come back. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I did that. I mean, they do an outstanding cover of the Stooges. Yeah, I don't know. Like, and where are they from? Iowa?
Iowa. Yeah.
Iowa?
Marshalltown, Iowa.
I feel like if you get into a pit in Iowa, you're going to get fucked up. That might be the anger we need. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, because they're fighting against everything out there. You know what I'm saying? Like anybody who's like-minded with us is definitely like they're fighting everything there is in Iowa. So this was awesome. I was happy to grab the record. And for it being spanned over how many, like 4 or 5 years?
Yeah.
The songs definitely go together very well. It sounds like they wrote it like an album for, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Instead of just piecing these songs together.
And even the Stooges cover is such a great selection that it fits the overall theme of the album. You know what I mean? Like it just does.
Yeah. I was a big fan.
How many EPs? Was it 3 EPs? With
3
songs each?
It was 3 EPs. Yeah. With 2 songs, I think maybe, and then they put one more.
One must have had 2 songs or so. Or was
okay,
that what it was?
I was gonna say because it's only 7 songs, but
yeah. So I think it was 2, and 1 for the new. I think that's what they did.
Got it.
Maybe there was one that had 3 songs. I'm not sure.
On my phone, I had just seen the release January 16th, so I assumed this was. I didn't even pick up on that. I thought,
wow,
this was one record, and and I agree that it doesn't, you wouldn't know.
Right.
The cover of "I Want to Be Your Dog" was sick. I've heard this band before. I want to say they've definitely played fests in the past. And I had kind of forgotten about them. As soon as you shared it, I was like, it sounded super familiar. I was like, yeah, Modern Life is War. I've definitely heard them before. I thought they were from Ohio for some reason, but Iowa, I'm not like too super far off, but yeah, I didn't have a ton here to say other than kind of just echoing Chris on the, like, it's just the exact, I wrote down, it is the overall level of dense, huge, angry punk that I need right now. I mean, hardcore, technically, but yeah, I had kind of forgotten about him, but I'm glad that you brought him back, into my, radar. 'Cause I want to dig more into some of their other releases too, but, 'cause they have a volume 3. Oh, I see. They put them all together. But they have a couple of other releases as well, and I got to go back and kind of check it out. But yeah, it just the exact kind of, it matched my energy this week. And it was great.
Right on.
I think that's all of us.
Yeah, I think so too. So my X Factor pick, it was a no-brainer. As soon as we all decided it was that War was going to be it, I just threw my picks in the chat. I went with Rooftops. We Just Pretend This Is a War. This is a solo project out of Boston. I got this record in 2021 through the Get Punk Record Club, and it was 45. And I was like, I saw the cover. I said, what is this? Put it on, and I was just hooked. If I ever wear out, this will be the first record that wears out in my collection, because I played it literally every day because I had a day job at that point, and I was just playing it like nonstop. It was so good. And then I bought the digital once that was available, and I just listened. I mean, this is in an every week rotation. This one, the cover is dope as hell. I don't even know how to describe. It's like a cartoony,
like a rat.
Yeah, and just the whole thing, like he's
holding a guitar like a rifle.
Like a rifle,
like he's at war.
Yeah, this whole thing is just like, it just, I don't know. I when I first heard it, like, again, I never heard anything like it. Not until I heard that Smitten for Trash. For Trash. That's been the closest thing I've heard that sounds a lot like anything like this. And it's basically like, where I was saying Smitten for Trash was like, it's angry and frustrated, but it's more frustration than anger. This is anger and frustration with emphasis on the anger. This is an album, like, this is true art to me. It makes me question myself. It makes me question, do I do enough? Am I out there? Am I saying enough? You know what I'm saying? Like, am I getting involved in things enough? And then at the same time, it makes me question, like, what are you doing? Like, what do you, like, you have, like, why are you, like, I'll, like, oh, blah, blah, blah. Like, one of my cars broke down. I have 2 cars. You know what I mean? Like, it makes me question this shit about my life. And I think when art does that, that's a good thing,
Yeah.
I love this one, man. I listen to it nonstop. Like I said, like, I mean, my notes, I don't even know where I am in my notes because I went all over the place because I love this album so much. I have yet to see Rooftops live. I will see Rooftops live at some point. Today just wasn't the day. Like, I wanted to.
I'm coming with you.
Yeah. Yeah. So Rooftops, I think the name Rufio, I think is the person's name, or at least that's what he goes by.
Rufio.
Brian Lothian is his name.
Yeah.
And
so I think
the Brave Cave is there.
Centrist. What was that other
recording studio space?
What is that other one? Centrist Class something was the other project. So that's how I was I was told of him, was like he goes by Rufio or something like that. So let me see what the other project is. I could be wrong. I don't have it in here. God damn it. Anyway, I'm going all over the place. Now, man, it's described as hard folk.
I like that, dude.
Yeah. And then again, like that's something like you have such. And I've listened to I've listened to a lot of things that are acoustic that are aggressive, but like this is something different. It doesn't have that manic side to it that a lot of things I like do. And it's just angry. And like, yeah, I'm gonna where'd the record go?
Play a little sample.
Yeah, I'm gonna sample this one. This
Solo acoustic non-Herbert punk hardcore.
I like that. What is non-Herbert?
Non-Herbert.
What is that? I don't know.
This is let's see. Here we go. This song is called "We're Up Against It." It's the opening track. So just aggressive acoustic.
I like the bass too.
I listened to this thing over and over, like, and no track is like there's no like slowing down, you know?
Right. Yeah.
And like I said, for this wasn't available like digitally for a while, so like I only had the 45, and I would just fucking spin it and then flip it and spin the other side, and I'm like, oh, and with my record player, it's like, once you put it to 45, like you kind of want to keep it there for a while because it's a pain in the ass to put it back to 33. So,
the old U-turn.
Yeah. So I would just continuously like do that, you know? Yeah. I hope you guys liked this one like I did.
Oh, you've sent this to me in the past. So this was one that I've heard before. And I enjoyed it. I loved it at the time. And again, I guess because of the mindset I'm in recently, this just fits well. It's just one of those kind of, you know, like you said, angry albums. There's a lot of, when you say how art makes you think, there's stuff in here that when you hear the lyrics, it's either a reminder, like for me, media blackout, right? A reminder to stop staring at our TVs and our Instagrams and realizing that this bullshit's just what they're, you know, it's all fake. None of it's real. We're Up Against It, you know, One Last Breath. There's so many good songs on this album, dude, from beginning to end. Yeah, I love this. I love this album. It's awesome. 2020, again, 2020 is when it's written, yet so many of these lyrics still relevant today.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of similar energy in the world right now than there was in 2020. And I think, you know, this was released March 25th, 2020. So you have to imagine it was written prior to that. But, you know, it was released like right in the cusp of the first time the world shut down in the past. At least in the past, you know, generation. But props to them for having the lyrics in here, because I definitely want to dive in lyrically, like further into this. But you got shades of Get Dead on this. Some couple of tracks. There were some parts that reminded me of some of the earlier Against Me stuff, like the acoustic EP, the Crime EP. Have to imagine they took some inspiration there. And like it, but like a little more melodic than some of that earlier Against Me stuff too, like in its own way. And the third thing I really picked up on with this that I thought was really interesting and like kind of cool is underneath the like scratchy folk punk sound that's kind of on top of it, they actually have some sick like 70s style, what sounds to me like 70s style bass lines. Like this kind of warm, fatter bass sound underneath there, like kind of underneath this, like, you know, again, this kind of folk punk, crust punk vibes on the top, you know, and it was a perfect fit with Lose Lose with Spittin' for Trash. They kind of were both in very much in the same vein this month, and I think it worked out perfectly. It balanced. We had like a nice hardcore balance and a nice like folk punk balance.
Really?
So yeah, I would have loved to have gone and we couldn't go. Trev and I couldn't go see them tonight because we're doing this, but we definitely plan to go soon and catch these guys.
My commitment to this podcast is uncanny. Right on, man.
Me too. Gotta go. I got a show.
Yeah. All right, we're gonna take a quick break. We come back. We're gonna wrap it up. I feel like this went by pretty quick this month. So we'll be right back. All right, guys, it's at the end of the show. It's time for us to go home.
This is the end.
Well, I am home, but you know what I'm saying. Yeah, cue the doors. It was good to have everyone back this month, especially off of a weekend where we all got together.
Heck yeah.
Saturday was a big reminder of me of community and just being there for one another. And like, I'm really grateful for the friendships I have, you know?
I agree.
And yeah. And like, it was funny, Mike, my buddy Mike, I was talking to him the next day and he's like, you got something special going on, man. I'm like, I don't know what I'm not doing anything.
Mike Shoe?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. He was really, he was like, and I was like, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what I'm doing. He's like, sometimes that's when the best things happen, when you don't know what you're doing. It's just a natural progression or something. So yeah, I don't know. I was really happy. I was sad that everyone left me, but I was really happy.
That's the after show blues, man.
I thought
all the time.
I could have sworn it seems to me that you were like pooped and you were like super tired and like ready for everyone to
No, not at all. Not at all.
Stop invading your home and
No, I was actually having having it. So usually like I would be like that, right? But like I was having a good time, and then I was like, all right. And it was early. It was
pretty early. It was like not even 11 o'clock.
Yeah. The show ended at 10.
Yeah.
and then like within 45 minutes,
everyone was packed and gone.
It was just me. I will say this much. I did sleep for like 13, 14 hours. Wow. I fell asleep, woke up, went to bed, and then I didn't wake up until the next afternoon. So I guess my batteries were drained a little bit, but if people were here, I would have entertained.
It was a good time. Thanks for doing it, dude. It was awesome.
Of course, man. Look, man, everything that I do, like I do it
for me,
like for you. Did you just Brian Adams this whole thing? No, seriously, like it's like I want to be able to like get people to play spaces and like you know how cool is it that we're like I'm in my 40s and I throw house shows, you know what I mean? Like to me dude. That's like hey,
it should be.
You know, and people get to you know raise a little money for the musicians and that's cool. You know,
in Massachusetts, you're lucky if you make it into your 40s and have a house big enough to have house shows.
I know. Well, I mean, the jury's still out on whether or not it's big enough. You know, so.
It was fun.
That's cool. So it was a good time. But anyway, yeah, I just I don't know, just a little reflection. I thank you both for your friendship and for building this struggling artist thing with me. You know, this isn't just my podcast. This is all of ours, and it's like I build it for like and like I mean, look, we have Arya doing the underground noise now to the point where he's like making his own like, hey, can I change I'm like, you can change what the graphic looks like. That was a temporary thing, you know what I mean? The one we had made. So I love it. I love this network in this just community of friends that I have and I even all my friends but being here and doing these things with you guys is awesome. So I appreciate you both for that.
Cool. Now are we recording? We live?
Oh shit. Now with that said, we each need to pick a criteria for next month's X Factor. Only one of us can win. So game on, fellas. Game on. All right, Jeff.
My pick is booze.
Booze.
Now it doesn't have to be the word booze, right?
Nope. Anything alcohol related.
Anything alcohol.
Cool.
Yeah.
Mine is meow, baby. Cats.
Any kind of feline?
Any kind of feline.
Because there's plenty of bands with the word lion or tiger in it. So,
sure.
Yeah. All right. I'm gonna go with trans bands.
Okay.
Or trans artists, whatever, however you want to put that.
Cool.
We'll see where we can come up with some of this. So, when you guys listen to this, head over to our Instagram page and vote. I only do it for the first 24 hours because I don't feel like doing addition. It's bad. I do. If you're a patron, you will see the poll early. You actually get to vote twice if you're a patron. You can vote there, then you can vote on Instagram as well. And before we get out of here, just real quick, Jeff, what was your favorite album of this month?
I think my favorite this month was Smitten for Trash.
Yeah, mine too, actually.
Yeah,
mine too.
I think the overall sound was like really interesting to me, and I really want to dive into this band more. I love their name. I love the black grass subgenre, and yeah,
they do a cool split with a band called Spud Bugs. That's in the same vein. I think you guys might like them.
Spud Bugs. I love it. I love some of these names, and it's great.
Yeah,
great band names. Are iconic.
My favorite this time was Now That's What I Call Heartbreak. It's such a, like I said, this just brought me back to those compilation cover albums that I love so much from the early punk days. And the fact that I know some of the people on here makes it even cooler. And the fact that the songs that are covered are cool. I mean, yeah, I'm all about it. This was my favorite pick.
Cool.
Heck yeah.
Heck yeah.
Anything to promote? Anyone got anything coming up? Nothing.
716 The Sound. Check it out.
Just
check out
surviving.
716 The Sound. Check out JRB Image online.
That is it.
Yeah.
Cool.
And listen to the Struggling Artist podcast. And go to Squally Green Thumb's Bandcamp and check out what he has for this month's. He does monthly albums and they go to a charity. So, yeah, check that out too. So, all right, guys, we'll see you later.
See ya.
See ya.